What's going on, everyone? My name's Obi and welcome back to Courtside Financial. Today we're going to be talking about a piece from ARK Invest where they believe that this is going to directly impact NIO. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any videos. Make sure you hit that like button because it really does go a long way in helping out the channel. And also, if you want to be a part of the conversation before it happens here on YouTube, click the link in the description to join the free Courtside Financial Discord. So everyone always asks me, Obi, when do you think that ARK Invest is going to invest in NIO? And quite frankly, I never really saw that happening. I never really thought that that would be the case. Even last year, one of the analysts at ARK Invest had some commentary around this subject matter, and they even said that they really can't understand why somebody would want a battery swap instead of just charging up at home, which made it quite clear to me that this person in particular didn't really understand the concept of battery swapping, didn't really understand all the benefits attached to it. Over the last 24 hours, I hope people got their confirmation that ARK Invest won't be investing in NIO anytime soon. So they actually released a piece about the Chinese Ministry of Finance not allowing electric vehicle subsidies to cars that are priced above around 47,000 US dollars through the end of 2022. And this doesn't even apply to NIO because it excludes vehicles that are battery swap ready. We know NIO is a pioneer in battery swap and China loves battery swap. But nonetheless, NIO is a premium brand, so this piece from ARK Invest has been sparking up a lot of controversy and a lot of people have lost confidence in NIO due to it. We're seeing that reflected in the stock price, so it is something that we have to talk about here today. So Sam Corris here at ARK Invest says that government support in the form of subsidies will harm NIO's global ambitions in the long run. The economics associated with battery swapping will lead to design constraints and shorten battery lives. Encouraging these suboptimal results, the Chinese government could limit NIO's success globally, even more so if the company relies on subsidies instead of aggressive investments into innovation to deliver competitively priced vehicles. So to me here, what I'm seeing is someone who doesn't really understand NIO. And that's okay because that's what happened in early 2020, if you ask me. In my opinion, a lot of people couldn't get behind battery swap. They didn't understand it. Not until later in 2020 and even this year are we seeing more of a wider acceptance for battery swap, more of people hopping on board with this wave of innovation and saying, hey, that battery swap is a good idea. So they talk about design constraints, and really the progression of technology is to do more with less. Even the Lucid Motors CEO said that anybody can make a bigger battery and have more range, and he referred to that as dumb range. I see NIO as a company that wants to innovate around the technologies that they have. They're a technology company. They want to consolidate down into one smaller battery with more capacity, more range, and more performance. I don't see them increasing in battery size. So I don't understand what he's talking about when he says the design constraints. And I don't see that hindering performance as well because as time goes on, batteries last longer. They become more affordable. To say that NIO is relying on subsidies instead of investing into innovation to make more competitively priced vehicles is like going to a Mercedes dealership and saying, hey, you need more competitively priced vehicles, or going to a BMW dealership and saying, hey, you need more competitively priced vehicles. No, they're a premium brand. Like I said, they're catering to a specific part of the market where there's a lot of opportunity there already, and they need to serve those customers. That's their target audience, people who can afford to buy these things. The subsidies are there, and of course they're going to take them because what company wouldn't take free help from the government? At the end of the day, it's just business. NIO's already overemphasized that they are a premium brand, and the product agrees with the way that they're positioning it. They did say that they would be releasing a mass market vehicle brand, but not under the NIO brand. It will be a sub brand, a completely separate brand, because they want to keep the NIO brand a premium brand. So I see no issue, and that's fine because there's a lot of opportunity in that market, and batteries are the most costly part of any electric vehicle. But as we all know, as time goes on, the battery technology is decreasing in prices, or batteries are actually decreasing in prices, and the overall market is going to see a broader decrease in price across the board. Even the Tesla Model 3, when it first came out, there's people who paid upwards of $50,000-$60,000 for a Tesla Model 3. Today you wouldn't pay anything close to that. You can get into a Tesla Model 3 starting at around $35,000. So NIO's not necessarily relying on subsidies for the strength of their brand. They're just taking the money because it's there and it's available to them, and obviously they're at an earlier stage in the game than Tesla, so they need all the help they can get right now, which I have no indication whatsoever that it's going anywhere, because clearly, like I just said, this doesn't apply to cars with swappable batteries. So really, this analyst at ARK Invest is making the point that if for some reason China stops giving subsidies to cars that are able to battery swap, which I have no indication that that will happen at all, because like I said, China loves battery swapping. They want to standardize battery swapping, which will benefit NIO tremendously in the long run. But I'm digressing from my point. But if China, for some whatever reason, stops giving subsidies to car companies that are battery swapping, then that's going to directly impact NIO. And obviously, yeah, they're going to lose a little bit of help, but think about NIO going to Norway. Do you think that they're going to get the same amount of subsidies that they're getting in China right now? They haven't even proven the concept in Norway yet. So NIO going over to Norway, it's very unlikely that they're going to get as much subsidies and support as they're getting from China in that regard. So just having that in mind, there's a lot of confidence that the business will also succeed in Norway. NIO invests a lot in R&D. They took a lot of time to make sure they understood the market before they actually planned on moving over to Norway. So if NIO can succeed in Norway without getting the same fiscal support that they're getting in China from the government, I don't think there's any problem here. That's NIO's first step in global expansion, and that's really going to tell the story. I think that this is really just an opinion piece, and it's a lot of speculation going on, which is really feeding and pouring into the market. Now, when I say that they don't understand battery swapping, the biggest piece that I'm getting at over here is that they don't understand that they're actually extending the lifeline of the car. They're actually giving people the option to see better performance in their vehicles. Number one, customers don't have to deal with battery degradation. Number two, if you buy, let's say, a Tesla, for instance, today, you're stuck with that battery. But as we know, battery technology is improving every year, year after year after year. With NIO, if a new battery comes out, you could swap into the new one. And guess what? Like I said, their target market is the premium customer, the guy who was going to buy a BMW, the guy who was going to buy a Mercedes. Those people want to have the latest and greatest, but they don't necessarily have to change their vehicle. They could just swap into the new battery, and that's something that's also a driver of revenue. So I will harp on the fact that China loves battery swapping. Consumers in China are choosing battery swapping as a preferred method. The government is also incentivizing around it. Eventually, they want to standardize it. So if they do standardize it, with NIO being the biggest player in battery swapping, but not only the biggest player, but the best player in battery swapping, and having the best technology so far as passenger car vehicle, as far as consumer vehicles, that means that if battery swapping is standardized, they're likely going to benefit from that because they might play a hand. And if everyone's using NIO's technology, what does that mean for NIO? That means that it's also going to drive revenue. So I really didn't understand this piece when I read it. I think maybe they need to get a little bit more granular and kind of elaborate and really explain their points. And yes, I do think that NIO needs to develop that mass market brand, but that's something that they are focused on. That's something that they said that they do have coming up. But also I think that the premium brand is going to be the biggest thing for NIO. I know the subsidies are helping, but I also don't think that they're making or breaking NIO, and there's a lot of love and support around it in China. So they're saying it's going to hinder their global presence. Okay, that means moving into different countries. Norway is really going to test this theory. If they don't succeed in Norway, then this ARK Invest analyst was completely right about NIO, but only time will tell. This is just a speculative piece here. But that's going to be it for this video. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave me a comment down below. I want to know what you guys think about this piece. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. As always, thanks for watching.